can't believe I'm on hour 6 in one day of binge watching this. I'm so proud of myself. But this is going to be the last hour because it's time for me to sleep.
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
Hey guys, it's Alexander here, and today we are watching The Crown Season 4, Episode 6. Last episode I really enjoyed. It was a little bit of a diversion from what we're used to. It was, of course, the story of the man who broke into the palace, Mr. Fagin, and had a conversation with the Queen. And it was brilliant because I think it gave us an idea. We've been seeing a lot in the last 5 episodes, archive footage of the 80s and what it was like to be living then in the UK. But I think it was nice, as I said in the last episode, to be sort of like on the ground, as it were. So to see how the real people in that time were feeling and living. And it just gave you a bit more of a perspective and just opened the world a bit more, I thought. So it was just, I think it was a really good episode, and it was a brilliant scene between the Queen and Fagin and the story, and I really enjoyed it. And I liked, of course, the handshake. I don't know why, but it got me really emotional, like when she when they were talking, he said thank you and she shook his hand without the glove, because of course at the beginning of the episode they'd made a thing about, oh, make sure you put your gloves on. So yeah, a really good episode. But episode 6 I'm looking forward to. I don't know what to expect. I just want to get into it and enjoy it. Can't believe we're over halfway through the series now. So I'm going to do one more episode tonight. I'm just talking to myself now, one more episode tonight, and then I'm going to finish reacting to the final 4 tomorrow. And as I say, hopefully these should be out at least 2 a week, which I'm hoping to do on a Monday and a Wednesday-ish, just depending on, hopefully, no issues with copyright. But yeah, without further ado, let's delve into episode 6. Hope you enjoy, guys.
An unelected non-Australian who lives on the other side of the world, and for all their good intentions is a different breed. You wouldn't put a pig in charge of a herd of prime beef cattle, even if it did look good in a twin set and pearls.
Well, you all came from the UK pretty much. Have a look at your history books.
I thought we didn't listen to chat. I listened to nothing else. About the Princess of Wales. She's struggling to cope, apparently. Wretched in the marriage. When we went to Australia in 1954, we left him at home for 5 months. And you suppose that might have had consequences? On what? Tour was a triumph.
On the children.
I should probably ask Charles and Diana to come and see me. This tour is too important.
And perhaps for that reason, the baby was never intended to be part of the trip.
I always made it perfectly clear. No baby, no me.
And everyone accepted that, and as I understand, has worked very hard to change plans that were set in stone.
So why should you expect me, as his mother, to be without him for 1 second, let alone 2 weeks?
Because you married the Prince of Wales, ma'am. And that is an act of service to the crown and to the country, which you signed up to willingly and with open eyes. And you are the Princess of Wales.
And the greatest act of service that I can give to the crown as princess is not to be some meek little wife following the great prince around like some smiling doll, but to be a living, breathing, present mother, bringing up this child in the hopes that the boy that will one day become king still has a vestige of humanity in him. Because God knows he's not going to be getting it from any of his courtiers.
Oh. Yes, bitch. You tell them.
I think we're going on a pleasure cruise on some river. And then we're going to visit Ayers Dock. Ayers Rock.
As Prince of Wales, he has to start sometime.
Then send him to the Bahamas or Seychelles, not Australia and New Zealand. But some countries are too important to send out the understudy.
The understudy.
We have to reorganize police, schools, couriers, military, security...
But I don't care about any of that. It's intolerable.
What's intolerable?
Well, I don't expect you to understand. I just need him to let me go wherever it is they've taken my son.
Oh, Margam, it's on the other side of the country.
I explained to Her Royal Highness. We are just 5 days into a very important tour which has been years in the planning. We can't just change things around willy-nilly.
Hi, darling. Hello. How are you?
I one saving grace for those children. She.
I missed you so much.
She was an astonishing mother.
I don't need endless flattery. No one wants that. But I am trying my hardest to please you, to live up to your standards. And I don't think you have the faintest idea of what it's like to feel this way. To be constantly overlooked, ignored,
Don't have the faintest
unappreciated.
idea. I know what being overlooked feels like better than anyone. I've
They
spent my
were
whole life
very
being
similar,
unthanked,
actually, and that was the
unappreciated,
problem.
uncared for. And if I've been cold or distant with you, perhaps it's because I don't feel truly understood by you. Because I love you.
And he did love Diana. He just didn't love her enough. Or people may say he just wasn't in love with her. Isn't it the trip to Australia where he also starts to get jealous because they all wanted Diana?
Let's really give them a show, shall we?
Aww. It's so sad because it's like it could have worked out. It's just in another life, maybe. I think they're giving it to each other on a regular basis. And this is when she found her place. It's when she knew it was all about the people for her. Like I say, I can understand that being difficult for him. I think it's, I know it's easy to say, oh, a strong man would support his wife, and I 100% believe that. But I think because of the way he was brought up, he, like you said, he craved that attention because he had such a cold upbringing. So to finally have his moment in the sun, and then his wife takes it.
That's the thing about ladies. You never quite know what they get up to when your back's turned. The final straw, honestly. Putting faces, horsing around while I'm trying to do my job.
I was blushing at your compliment.
People were laughing at me.
Thanks to me, people are interested.
No, thanks to you, people are laughing in my face. Booing the heir to the throne, booing the crown.
Oh, come on. Oh, don't do this. Please. Open the door.
Set back the cause of republicanism in Australia for the foreseeable future.
I think she did. But then that's good for him. He should be thankful because he's like, actually, she's helped us keep Australia under our, as us being head of state.
Hi, Grove.
Kensington Palace.
And that's how it was for the rest of their marriage, pretty much.
I was hoping you could tell me he's your son.
She
Because
doesn't know
I've
anything
been a
about
terrible
him.
mother. Is that what you've come here to tell me?
Yeah.
Or the Duke of Edinburgh, a terrible father?
Of course not.
I struggle to understand Charles sometimes too. I think that's
Not terrible, but
But us sitting here sticking knives into him isn't helpful either.
just not great.
And is it
And I
also
think
possible
Charles
that there is a
would
part
be
of
like
you
that
that is
anyway.
enjoying your own success rather too much?
What is too much? A smile? A moment's happiness?
Overstepping the mark is too much.
No one's ever.
That's all I want. It's all any of us want from you. Is it too much to ask?
Yeah. It really is.
We are rather a tough bunch in this family. We don't give out much praise or love.
It all stems from that woman, I tell you, the
Perhaps
Queen
someone
Mother.
like Diana is best placed to
Hug everyone else too.
connect with the modern world.
Who, in time, will give up her struggles, give up her fight, and bend. As Philip did. As they all do.
Awkward.
And when she bends, she will fit.
See, Margaret
And if she
knows
doesn't
it.
Bend, what then? She will break.
History repeats itself. Margaret knows exactly what it feels like. There we go. Okay, guys, so that was a great episode. I feel like I said that at the end of every episode, but this season's been really good, a really strong season. Of course, we got to see a bit more about Diana and Charles' relationship, which I think is nice because, of course, we had episode 3, which was very Diana-centred. This one then focused on their relationship and the trials and tribulations. And I think it showed a good case argument for everyone because, as I say, it's easy to paint Diana as this apostle and to paint Charles as the devil. Both of them have their flaws and both of them have their good points, and I think that's something that this series is doing a very good job of showing. For Charles, it's, you know, the fact that the Queen and his parents weren't necessarily not bad parents, but they were just distant parents, you know. In that world, you know, it's about the nanny doing everything, and you are, you know, it's a lot more reserved. Whereas Diana feels that she comes from a background which is, and then she had a difficult upbringing as well with her mother and father divorcing and her stepmom who she resented, but growing up, I think she was used to a more loving environment, and so it's difficult for the two to connect because neither of them can see the other's point of view because you haven't lived through it. So Charles can't understand how, but I think he does slightly, but he can't really see how she feels because he's never been through that, and vice versa for Diana. Especially for Diana, though, it's difficult because the entire royal family is that way. You know, they've all been brought up to be quite, you know, cold, not cold-hearted, but distant, and that is their job. You know, it's a duty, and they have to suppress themselves because I think there comes a time where, although, you know, Diana says it, you know, that the people want to see emotions from us, and obviously they did want to see that, and we do, because you connect with that through the likes of Diana and William and Kate. Although, you know, you do notice that a lot of people, as soon as Meghan started showing any emotion when she said she found it difficult, the press were straight on her like they were with Diana. So people as well that are like, oh, I don't like Meghan, she's trying to steal Harry away. And it's like, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that conversation. But yeah, I think this was a great episode to see their relationship issues and to see that they did love each other. I think that's something that we forget, that they weren't, you know, they did love each other. Obviously we know that Diana loved Charles, but Charles did love Diana. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, he just wasn't in love with her or loved her as much as he did Camilla, and it was all to do with the fact that she was probably too strong for him, and you know, she was the same as him, and that's what I said in the thing. They were very similar people. They both craved attention. Unfortunately, Diana got more than he did, and I can understand his point of view that he's been distanced for so long and not had that attention that he craved, that he wanted, and this trip was supposed to be about him. And I know it's like, you go, oh well, He should have just sucked it up. But it must be difficult for him as well. We need to look at both sides here. And of course for Dinah, she was exactly the same. So I feel sorry for Dinah because, again, it wasn't her fault. She wasn't doing anything different. She was being herself. And people just connected to her. Charles was being his self, and unfortunately, because of the way he was brought up and the way he's been told to be, again, as I say, bringing that word distance back in, it kind of brings it all back to that. But, as I say, a wonderful episode. Joshua and Emma are fabulous. And I love that scene between Emma and Olivia, where she hugged her and the Queen was just didn't understand it, and the rest of the family don't. But Margaret, you could tell when she said she will break. She knows exactly what it's like because she was in a similar, she has similar perspective on that from her past experiences. So I'm really excited to see. I hope we do see a bit more of Margaret in the last 4 episodes, because I think I think Helena is a fabulous actress and she portrays Margaret so well. Okay guys, thank you much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to share, comment, subscribe. All my social media in the description box below. And yeah, until next time, see ya.